Welcome to a post-Cup Day edition of the Bones of Advertising. All the very best to you all, and
goodbye.
Yes.
Did anyone make any money on the stinking cup? Did you? Yes, Gab,
Oh.
you came home with some goodies.
Yeah, I picked the winner.
How did you do that?
Just sheer luck.
That's I studied the form and everything. And couldn't
Did
come
you?
away with the winner. Yeah.
Well,
So what happened to the favourite? The favourite just seemed to disappear.
Yeah. Well, the favourite hasn't won the cup since 2013.
17 years now.
Yeah. And then the one who won, the one I picked, it said that they did well in the wet.
We're 16 until this cup. So no favourites.
So it'd be 19 years, 2013. No, 2003.
9 years.
2000.
You just picked right there.
There's maths going on here. I'm just going to take a back seat.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about the stinking cup or that ridiculous bear that's just dropped in from last week's episode.
Yeah,
we are here to talk about advertising. And this week, we have got something very, very interesting to have a look at. Let's take a quick look at it right now. Okay, I'm just going to start with the ladies because this is not targeted at me whatsoever. So I'm just going to start with someone who may be interested in a brand like this because for me, it's twin birds for Burberry, not interested one little bit. I would not give a flying fruit bat about Burberry or any of the other brands either. But let's hear what you girls have got to say.
What the hell? This could almost be our what the fuck. Bizarre shit. It felt to me like a really high-end version of Twilight, like of them like turning into werewolves and like running really quick. I don't know. It was fucking it was weird. It was
right. Okay.
It was weird, but I don't know if it falls into the same like category as your Yeezys and stuff. If it is this kind of like new world, can't really explain what it is. It's just like it's the vibe of it, you know. It's almost, I don't know. It doesn't make me want to buy Burberry. I'm not Burberry's biggest fan anyway, but I could see it becoming like a culty kind of thing, maybe over in the US, of people like aligning themselves with this mysterious, weird genre that they're trying to pocket. But yeah, for me, it was a bit too odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so confused, but also so bored. Like it goes for like 2.5 minutes. I don't know if we're showing the full thing, but I had to, once they all started flying and it all got a bit weird, I just had to skip forward and like see if anything else interesting was going to happen other than them flying. So yeah, I'm really perplexed, don't understand it at all. I do kind of get Burberry's overarching direction and most designer brands' overarching direction moving away, not moving away, still trying to honor their heritage and their history, but trying to be a little bit more modern. Like Burberry have recently undergone a rebrand where they've changed their classic font and their classic sort of heritage emblem to a more modern, simplified look and feel, and that's rolling out across all of their clothing and their bags and leather goods. So I think it's just an extension of that, trying to be more modern and strip away some of the puffery and older sort of ostentatious style branding that they were known for. But for me, like, it's a complete miss. I don't know what we're selling. I don't understand the story. I didn't get it. It's like gives you wings, like Burberry makes you fly. I don't.
Burberry jackets are so light that you get blown away when you wear them.
Didn't get it.
The whole idea of the acrobatics and then the soaring, and whether it was done in situ or some of it was done 3D or how it all came together, that part interests me.
Yeah.
The actual story that underpins it, you know, I think you guys have said enough about that, but the actual movement and the way they've done it, and obviously they were, you know, they hinged from the middle in post, they've taken the cables out, you know, however that was done. But some of that I was mesmerized by. Like I was actually thinking, holy shit, this is incredible. When they went down over the wheat, and I think in the end, don't they go over water as well? Isn't there
there's really good transitions. I think when they went to the forest, it kind of lost me a bit when they were the timing of the feet onto the trees didn't quite work. But I agree that the production of it was quite amazing. And I tried to find where their harnesses were, but you couldn't, and it could have been the selection of particularly the black jacket was belted at the waist. So I think that they may have done a really good job of disguising that kind of stuff. But I think they could have been just as effective in 30 seconds than they were in 2 minutes. Like, I think that it's almost like, look what we've created, and we're going to keep showing you and keep showing you and keep showing you and keep showing you. And you're like, okay, enough.
I disagree. I disagree. I do. And I'm not just being churlish. I think this does something that we complain that we don't see enough of in advertising. I think what this does is this tries desperately to establish a brand feel. And I don't think we see enough of that, especially in fashion brands. And I think the reason they're not selling us anything is they're trying to make us buy into an emotion rather than say, here's a jacket. It's not, this is so far beyond retail advertising that I think we get so caught up in, sorry about that. That was Burberry.
Burberry saying they needed you out.
Carry on. You're doing exactly what the strategy said we should do. I think the 2-minute version, I think, will cut down perfectly into 15-second and 30-second pieces that will allow us to very, very quickly be reminded of this feeling. That, I mean, it's a Burberry ad, and the only reference to the classic Burberry fabric is that really large check thing on one jacket. Like, the rest of it doesn't look like Burberry stuff at all.
But Jay, what is the feeling? Like, what is the feeling that they're trying to get across?
It's
supposed to be connection to earth was the like underpinning creative direction of it, from what I've read from the people that were involved in creating it.
I just like the fact that it takes me away from just the everyday. Like, wearing something high fashion should make me feel something. That it's like, did you ever see what was that not horrendous movie with Steve Carell and Emma Stone and and his wife leaves him, and he meets up with, but he, Ryan Gosling. And,
Ryan Gosling's in it. Oh yeah.
Whatever that movie is.
Crazy thing called love. A crazy thing called love or
that's
something.
it. And when Ryan Gosling first appears, and there's this perfectly buddy tailored shoe and a suit, appears, and then it cuts to this wide shot, and there's him in a suit. More blokes went out and bought a suit after seeing that movie than any other time in history, because it just looked amazing. It looked like you felt incredible by wearing a high fashion suit. And I think that's all this is trying to do. This is trying to make us feel something, not anything specific, but make us feel that this is not mundane.
Yeah, it's definitely something different. It made me feel dizzy.
I think they should be congratulated. Like, it's not, I don't think it's supposed to make sense intellectually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just supposed to entertain you. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, I think it's also got the characteristics of something that will go viral, and people will get, they'll talk about it, and all of that, the positives and negatives that could come out of that.
And people will hate it. Some people hate it. Some people will love it. I don't think there will be too many people sitting in the middle. I think it's like, and that's what fashion should do, I think. I mean, I'm not a fashion. Look at me. I'm not exactly a buddy. I wouldn't know fashion if it jumped up and bit me on the bum, but
Well, speaking of bums, and we're about to head into a state election, so
seamless segue. I love it.
2 bums to choose from, ultimately, in my view. And I think what's gone on for our what the fuck, we'll just have to have a little bit of a look and a bit of a scratch at this one. Johnny, do you want to have a bit of an overview of what's gone on and how we've come to a situation? Because we're now in this holding pattern with elections. So nothing happens now until the election. They go into what's called lockdown. You get bullshit statements on websites like Vic Roads that say, we're no longer doing anything. We can't touch this for this period of time because we're in lockdown. But
they're not allowed to.
That's arisen, and I'd like you to talk about what's gone on and how we got to where we are.
So Netball Australia had landed a sponsorship of $15 million from Gina Reinhardt, the richest woman in the world, or whatever, in Western Australia. And a young Aboriginal girl was debuting for the Diamonds, and there was reference to there's an environmental an ongoing environmental kind of impact thing with mining generally. But Lang Hancock, back in the 40s, Regina's dad had made some horrendous comments about Aboriginals and what should or should not be done to Aboriginal people, which was disgusting. And this young Koori girl had said, I can't play for Hancock with a Hancock name on it just because of what Lang Hancock said, back in the 40s. And the rest of the Diamonds got around her and said, well, if you're not playing, we're not playing. And so they said that they weren't going to play with the sponsorship. Gina Reinhardt pulled the sponsorship, so Netball Australia didn't have a sponsorship of any value. They were about to go into serious financial difficulties, and the Victorian Labor Party very, very generously and with no ulterior political thinking at all, has decided they'll step up and sponsor the Diamonds to the tune of $15 million. Timed perfectly for that moment where you're not allowed to do any advertising and here we are talking about it. So we're actually advertising for the State Labor Party. There you go. That's it. Simple, in a bottle right there.
Well, how kind of them! Like that's so
generous,
kind. Yeah.
My thought is that it's ridiculous that sport at this level for women can't attract the right sponsorship no matter what. So firstly, I do think there's definitely a situation that's arisen. They've had a sponsor, the sponsor's pulled out, and surely there's bigger brands that are out there, like Rebel or whoever. Like there's a myriad of brands who I think would be a perfect fit for this particular sponsorship opportunity. But then for the government to step in and say that we're going to do it, I think, although yes, political, but I'm actually rapt that they did, because now it means that they'll actually have the money they need to be able to go where they need to go. But I guess the point being that how can there not be that kind of money for women's sport? Like, why is there not someone that's just gone, oh, well, you know, fuck Gina Reinhart and her father for what they said ages ago. And if that's how they feel, like now, if that's how they feel, great. And how come someone doesn't come in and say, okay, well, you know, Coca-Cola is going to put $15,000 onto the jerseys, like McDonald's is on, I don't know, Collingwood, KFC or whatever. Why aren't they just in there doing that as well? And this, I think, is the problem, although it's not our what the funk, and we'll get back to that because obviously the political side of it is, but I think it's ridiculous that, you know, they're still in a situation where, you know, scrimping and begging and borrowing for every dollar they get when they're elite athletes. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to watch this. Obviously, my girls have played netball, but they're extraordinary at what they do. Like, you've got such an opportunity to be impacting that market. And this is the part as an advertiser that gets me. You've got an extraordinary opportunity because there's a huge, vast array of young girls that are interested in this sport and watching their idols play, and you can influence them with your brand. So, you know, I find it just bizarre still that we're in that situation. But yep, go Labor Party and get on the, you know, the bandwagon and give them the money, and hopefully that will get down over the line. I don't know.
I think coming off the back of what Craig's just said as well, that a lot of that is to do with the interest in women's sport and the lack thereof in terms of viewership of women's sport and when it's on TV compared to, you know, when major male-led games are on of different sports. I think so. Then off the back of that, the sponsorship seems like perhaps a less enticing or a less valuable sponsorship from a pure commercial point of view of a brand. But I think what's really great, I mean, I don't agree with the timing of it all and what Mr. Andrews is all about from a political motive point of view. But I think one of the best parts about it is it's not just sticking the logo on the jersey. There's also the element of supporting grassroots participation in the sport, which is really important for, and like, you know, girls aren't the only ones who play netball, like boys do now as well. So I think, yeah, from a brand perspective, they're probably looking at it from more of a commercial play and comparing it to other sponsorships where they're going to get a lot more viewership. But yeah, if I was a brand that was big enough, you would definitely look at it from a more holistic point of view about supporting communities as well and how it can affect your corporate social responsibility and reputation in that area. So I agree. It's disappointing that another big brand wasn't able to step up to the party. But yeah, no comment on the whole Dan Andrews election situation. I'm going to stay out of that one.
Okay, you've got nothing
no
to
comment,
say,
Caro? No comment?
I'm the same as Gabs and Craig. Like, I think it's unfortunate that a bigger brand didn't see an opportunity not to exploit the situation, but to come in and kind of stand with them. I think could have been a really powerful play and something that a lot of people could have got on board with. I don't think any different towards Labor for supporting them. Like, it doesn't sway me to think, oh, they're really good people now. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, I guess they came in to save the day, or did they compete against perhaps another sponsor that couldn't offer as much and win it? I don't really know the backstory behind if anyone else did step forward and did they kind of pip them at the post. But yeah, I think it's sad that there's been progress in women's sport, but it's still so far behind men's sport. So, you know, it's a missed opportunity for me.
I think it'd be interesting to see if it suddenly becomes, if this triggers something that allows political parties to actually get more visibility over a longer period of time. Like, will the New South Wales Liberal Party start sponsoring the Waratahs?
Yeah, has it ever been done before? Is this the first time?
I don't think it's ever been. I can't remember it when a government, a political party has sponsored anything. So
interesting. Like, I wonder. It's kind of interesting. Like, is it allowed?
Well, I don't know that. I don't think they've done it as the Labor Party. I think they've done it as the Victorian government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The logo that's going to be on there is like the Visit Victoria logo, like they use
got you.
tourism.
Which I think it's fantastic. It certainly gives Victoria, and people are talking about it. Like, that's that first rule of advertising, isn't it? Get noticed. So,
yeah, I'm all for the money going to the sport, that's for sure. And the political aspect behind it, well, so be it. As long as they get the dough and they can compete at the best level they can and be the best athletes they can be, that's all what it's about, I think. But let's maybe chat about the election in a couple of weeks, because that could be fun, just dissecting Mr. Guy versus Mr. Andrew.
beautiful.
You know what time it is?
It's time.
Onyx.
I'm ready. Last week was a complete
Okay,
stuff
so
up.
last week was a complete nutter debacle.
I've got to make good. I've got to make good.
Gotta make good.
We're going to play a game.
Let's
We're going
see.
to play a game, and it's called Would I Lie to You? Advertising is supposed to be based in truth.
Okay.
This is called Would I Lie to You? It's a team game. What I want you to do is I'm going to make a comment,
Yes.
and then I want you all to say yes or no.
Okay.
And
I like this already.
the 2 against 1, so there's 3 of you. Majority rules will be your response. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So
let's
yes
start.
or no?
Yes, right. We're ready. Good. Here we go.
That's no.
Start with an easy one. Start with an easy one. Coca-Cola invented Santa Claus.
Yes.
Yes.
It was advertising.
So the response is I'm going to give that to Gabs. She's correct.
Oh,
She
I
is
thought they
correct.
did.
Well done, Gabs. So she gets 2 stars because there's a team game again. Trust me, the scoring makes sense.
Okay.
Gabs gets 2 stars. All right, you ready?
Who invented Santa then? I thought it was all a ploy.
St.
No,
Nicholas.
Santa Claus was a thing that was invented hundreds of years ago for kiddies, for like St.
It's
Nicholas.
Johnny clearly
Coke did
doesn't know,
some-
so
Yeah.
let's move to the next
Chris
question.
Kringle, like from
Uh,
northern hemisphere snowbound countries hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone in the North Pole.
He wasn't invented, you guys. He's real, but okay.
It's real. Santa's real. Don't tell Gab. Nintendo was founded in 1963 to make Disney trading cards.
Jeez.
All right. I feel like it was no. I feel like it. I'm going to go this.
I'm going to need. What is it, Caro? Okay, Caro, 2
I'm gonna go
stars.
that.
Well done. Nintendo was founded in 1889, and they made Japanese playing cards. There you go.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, diamonds are not that rare. Yes, you're all correct. Well done. 1 star each.
Our girl's best friend though.
Yeah.
Diamonds.
Oh, that's where we were going.
This whole thing about diamonds being worth a lot is that's De Beers creating a monopoly on because they've got the largest diamond mine. Like they're they're apparently
Big
they're
supply.
common as muck. But okay, carrying on. Fat is worse than sugar for your diet.
Sugar's worse.
Fat is better than sugar.
Yeah. Everyone eat butter. Butter's good for you.
It's 1 star each to the girl. Well done. Okay, cold beer tastes better than warm beer. Oh, Gab's play. Look at that. Gab's just playing the numbers. Another 2 stars. Cold
Ah,
beer
just
and
an
warm
opinion.
beer.
You can't-
Cold
it's a
beer and
fact.
warm beer.
yeah.
From a
That's
taste point
I
of view,
believe that cold beer tastes better.
there is no scientific difference between the taste of cold beer and warm beer.
It's an enjoyment thing though.
It is advertising liking to show the little cool beads of sweat on the glass in a hot day. On a hot day, cold beer is better because it's more refreshing. But in terms of taste, there is no discernible difference, according to studies.
Caroline,
disagree.
like,
I disagree.
Okay, here we go.
From now on,
RJ
JD,
Reynolds.
you're only allowed to drink warm beer.
Okay, 2 more. Here we go. I don't drink beer, so I don't care. 2 more. 2 more. RJ Reynolds, the largest cigarette manufacturer in the world, made a smoke-free cigarette in 1983.
Maybe. Good on him for trying.
They spent $325 million trying to launch a smoke-free cigarette. And
Look at the dirty garters down the bottom.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Cosmopolitan magazine once released yogurt as a product line.
No. Yeah, I'm going yes, just to.
Yeah. Yes,
Wait,
well
wait,
done. They
wait.
did. They did. They
Yeah.
absolutely did. A low-fat fashion yogurt.
Cosmopolitan yogurt.
There you go.
There you go.
I
I
Very,
don't know who
very
won. I
different
wasn't keeping
harmonics.
score, but there you go. True or false?
Brilliant. Love it. Great work. That's another edition of the Bones of Advertising. Don't go changing. We'll see you all next week.